Imagine waking up one morning to find the world has suddenly stopped spinning. Sounds impossible, right? But what if it actually happened? The consequences would be so catastrophic and mind-bending that they defy imagination. In this video, we'll take you on a journey to explore the unthinkable, a world frozen in rotation. You might think you know what would occur, but the reality is far more terrifying than you could ever envision. From apocalyptic weather patterns to the complete restructuring of Earth's geography, the effects would reshape our planet in ways that would make it unrecognizable. But that's just the beginning. The impact on human civilization and all life on Earth would be so profound that survival itself would become a desperate struggle. As we delve into this scenario, we'll reveal shocking predictions from leading scientists that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about our planet's delicate balance. By the end of this video, you'll understand why Earth's rotation is so crucial to life as we know it. But first, let's explore the initial moments of this unimaginable event and the immediate chaos that would ensue. Hey there, space enthusiasts and curious minds. Have you ever wondered what would happen if our planet suddenly stopped spinning? It's a wild thought, right? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into this mind-bending scenario. I'm Real Talk and Discoveries, and today we're exploring the chaotic consequences of a motionless Earth. Get ready for a journey that'll make you appreciate our spinning home like never before. Let's start with the basics. Earth rotates on its axis, giving us day and night. But what if it just stopped? First off, we'd be in for one very long day and night. Half the planet would be stuck in constant daylight, while the other half would be plunged into eternal darkness. Imagine that for a second, no more sunsets or sunrises. Now, let's talk about gravity. Earth's rotation creates a slight bulge at the equator. If the spinning stopped, that bulge would disappear. Water from the oceans would rush towards the poles, creating massive floods. Goodbye, beach vacations. But wait, there's more. The atmosphere would go haywire. Wind patterns would change dramatically. We'd see super strong winds blowing from the hot side to the cold side of the planet. Think of it as Earth's very own hairdryer, but on a massive scale. Let's not forget about our daily lives. GPS systems? Useless. Satellite communications? Goodbye to those too. Our entire modern infrastructure relies on Earth's rotation. We'd have to rethink everything from scratch. Now, here's a scary thought. What about our magnetic field? Earth's rotation plays a big role in generating it. Without it, we'd lose our shield against harmful solar radiation. Suddenly, sunscreen would be the least of our worries. But hold on, it gets even weirder. The moon's effect on Earth would change too. Tides as we know them would cease to exist. Instead, we'd have one giant bulge of water on the side facing the moon. Talk about a permanent high tide. Let's think about ecosystems for a moment. Plants and animals have evolved to live in specific day-night cycles. A sudden stop in Earth's rotation would throw all of that out of whack. Many species would struggle to survive in this new, extreme environment. Here's a silver lining, though, space travel might actually become easier. With no rotation, launching rockets would require less fuel. But then again, Who'd be thinking about space travel when we're dealing with all these other problems? Now, you might be wondering, could this actually happen? The short answer is no, not naturally. Earth has been spinning for billions of years and isn't likely to stop anytime soon. But it is slowing down, just very, very slowly. We're talking milliseconds over centuries. Let's take a moment to appreciate how perfectly balanced our planet is. The rotation gives us our seasons, helps distribute heat, and keeps our climate stable. It's like Earth found its own perfect spin cycle. But here's a fun fact: some planets in our solar system do spin really slowly. Venus, for example, takes 243 Earth days to complete one rotation. Imagine waiting that long for your birthday to come around. Now, let's get back to our spinning Earth. Have you ever noticed how we don't feel the rotation? That's because everything around us is moving at the same speed. It's like being in a car on a smooth highway. You only feel the motion when there's a change. Speaking of change, Earth's rotation isn't constant. It actually speeds up and slows down slightly. These tiny variations can affect our timekeeping. Sometimes, scientists even add a leap second to our clocks to keep them accurate. Here's another cool tidbit: Earth's rotation affects our weight. If you stood on the equator, you'd weigh slightly less than at the poles. It's not enough to notice, but it's there all thanks to our spinning planet. So, what have we learned from this imaginary scenario? Well, for one, Earth's rotation is crucial for life as we know it. It's not just about day and night, it affects everything from our weather to our very existence. What would happen if the world stopped spinning? The Earth is currently slowing down its rotation. Have you ever pondered the implications if our planet stopped spinning? While the possible outcomes seem disastrous, the effects depend greatly on how rapidly this occurs. A sudden halt? Certainly catastrophic. However, if Earth slows its rotation over time and eventually stops, life might endure. Interestingly, Earth's spin has already begun to decelerate. What does this mean for us? 1. What defines the Earth's rotation? Answer: it refers to Earth's spin around its axis. The planet revolves at approximately 1,600 kilometers per hour, 1,000 miles per hour. 2. What is Earth's rotational speed? This speed derives from the planet's circumference of about 40,075 kilometers, 24,901 miles, with its surface at the equator moving 460 meters per second, roughly 1,000 miles per hour. 3. Duration. Earth completes a rotation about every 24 hours, specifically every 23 hours, 56 minutes, and 4.09053 seconds. 4. Sense of spinning. We cannot feel Earth's rotation as everything, including the oceans and atmosphere, moves in sync at the same constant speed. 5. Why does Earth rotate? Since its formation 4.6 billion years ago, Earth has rotated. It was formed from a revolving disk of gas and dust circling the young sun. During this process, particles collided, forming Earth, and the impact's force caused it to spin. 6. Direction of spin. Earth's rotation is prograde, or from west to east, turning counterclockwise when viewed from Polaris, the North Pole star. 7. Significance of Earth's rotation. Should Earth abruptly stop, the effects would be dire. akin to a vehicle stopping suddenly without seatbelts, causing everything to lurch forward. 8. Throwing everything off balance similar to a sudden stop. Everything not firmly anchored would be hurled sideways, stripping the land clean to the bedrock. 9. Massive tsunamis. Oceans would continue their momentum, creating mega tsunamis that could send water as far inland as 30 kilometers, 18.5 miles, in mere minutes. 10. Destructive storms. Extremely fast winds would rage across Earth, creating a devastating storm. 11. Total obliteration. Rocks, soil, vegetation, buildings, and people would be swept into the atmosphere. The destruction would be instant and absolute. 12. Gradual deceleration. However, should Earth gradually slow before halting, the situation would differ substantially. 13. Extended days. Halting its rotation but continuing to orbit the Sun would result in days lasting a year, as the Sun would take 365 days to traverse the sky. 14. A standstill planet. If Earth's rotation ceased, the Sun would rise in the west and set in the east. 15. Extended darkness and cold. Nearly half the year would be spent in darkness, with twilight in between, bringing frigid conditions. 16. Extreme heat. When the Sun reappears, the Sun would remain visible for 6 months, causing equatorial temperatures to soar, hardening the ground like concrete. 17. Changing Earth's shape. Losing rotation would alter Earth's shape, probably its most significant effect. 18. Equatorial bulge. Earth's spin-induced centrifugal forces cause an equatorial bulge, making the equator 67 kilometers, 41.5 miles, wider than pole to pole. 19. Pole-bound waters. Without these forces, the equatorial bulge would diminish, causing oceans to shift toward the poles. 20. Grand-scale flooding. Waters would initially flood parts of Russia and northern Canada, later submerging much of Europe and large parts of southern South America. 21. Emergence of a new continent. The retreating seas would expose a gigantic equatorial landmass, a new megacontinent spanning the globe's midsection. 22. Oceanic redistribution. Resultantly, Earth's waters would split into 2 isolated seas at the poles. 23. Transformation of landscapes. Picture it, one deep ocean at the North Pole, another at the south, divided by a new equatorial landmass. 24. Inhospitable planet. Much of this new land would be uninhabitable due to thin air, though life might sustain on the old seabed because of higher air pressure. 25. Probability of Earth stopping. Believe it or not, Earth's rotation is already decelerating. 26. Influence of the Moon. The Moon's tidal effects slow Earth's rotation, lengthening days over time. 27. Extending day lengths. A century ago, days were shorter by mere milliseconds. Now, due to Earth-Moon tidal interactions, each day is about 1.7 milliseconds longer. 28. A potential 25-hour day. Scientists forecast that in 140 million years, each day may stretch to 25 hours. 29. Era of 400 days per year. In the Devonian period 400 million years ago, shorter days resulted in roughly 400 days annually. 30. Future without the Sun. Luckily, life on Earth won't cease before the Sun exhausts its fuel, but what will happen thereafter? And there you have it, folks. A world without spin would be a pretty wild place. It's amazing how one simple motion keeps our planet in perfect balance. Next time you watch a sunset or feel a cool breeze, remember it's all thanks to our ever-spinning Earth. If you enjoyed this mind-bending journey, don't forget to like and subscribe. And hey, leave a comment telling us what other what-if scenarios you'd like us to explore. Until next time, keep your world spinning.